Alright, in this module I'm going to go over my top 20 plugins, and if you click the button below you're going to be able to see that list and then search up some of these plugins yourself. So I'm going to go through some of them, not all of them, because there's quite a few to go through, but we're going to install some of these plugins right now, and I'll explain what some of them do and how to set them up. So first of all, we've got all-in-one WP security. Now this is a very good plugin. To find the plugins, we're going to go to plugins, add new, and then we're going to search these up in the directory. Now, all-in-one security plugin, it's just a general good plugin. As soon as you activate it, it's going to instantly add a firewall and additional security to your website. This is going to minimize the chance that your website is going to be hacked or any other security issues such as viruses or malware or anything like that could slow your website down. Obviously there are many other security plugins you can choose from, but this is one that I would recommend. So now I've installed that. You're going to see an extra menu option, WP Security, and you can see there's many different things that you can tweak to increase the security of your website. Let's kind of have a look at the dashboard. We'll tweak a few settings. So when you first install the plugin, it's got this strength meter. So at the moment it's very low because we don't have many of the things tweaked. Here it's saying critical features, login lockdown. I think login lockdown will mean that people can only make 3 attempts before, if they get their password wrong 3 times, they'll get locked out of the site. Something about file permissions, basic firewall. Below is a critical status of critical features. Current status of critical features that you should activate on your site to achieve a minimum level of recommended security. So let's put the firewall on anyway. Okay, firewall. Enable basic firewall. Check that. WordPress, XMLR, PC, and pingback vulnerability protection. I don't know what this is, but check this if you are not using. I won't turn that on because I don't know what that is. Block access to debug log file. Look, it's really up to you. You can just, I don't know exactly what some of these things are, but the more you add, the more security you will have. I guess if you're having issues and your site has been hacked, you should definitely go on the more on the side of adding more of the checkboxes ticked. Listing directory contents. So look, I'm not going to go through all of these because there's so many different settings. So as I was saying before, you've got user login, enable lockdown feature. This is if, or you've got various settings. So you can say, I'm going to turn this on, allow unlock requests, ignore that, maximum login attempts. So you might say after 3 logins, fully block that IP so they just can't go to your website anymore. And how long you want to lock them out. You might want that to be forever, or certain amount of time that you lock someone out. You should really be careful about turning this on, because if you forget your own password, you can lock yourself out of the site. So I'm not going to turn that on right now, but you have the choice of doing that. So yeah, there's other things you can go through. Obviously you need to take the time to go through each one of these steps and have a bit of a read. Enable manual approval of new registrations. So this means that each time someone registers your site, you have to manually approve them. Depends on what you want. Database security. Now I think by default WordPress uses WP for the prefix, which is the letters just before your database. I don't know the word, but before the database categories of things, you can change these letters. So you could, there's a Sunny Coast DJs, I could call it SCDJ. And that's just going to make it a little bit harder for hackers, because hackers are always going to go for the vulnerabilities. They're going to look for the default thing. Here it says, normally WordPress website is WP_. So yeah, you can change that stuff. File system security. More things you can edit. Firewall. I think we turned the firewall on. Brute force. So you can change the login URL. So by default, it's your website name /WP admin, and you can change that from WP admin to something else. Like it could just be login, just as long as it's different, because otherwise people know automatically. If they go to your website and type WP admin and then they go to the login screen, they know you're using a WordPress website, and then they can start trying to hack their way in through the login. Spam prevention, this has got something to do with comments, I think. People commenting or trying to create accounts. And anyway, so that's WP security. Let's go back to the plugins list. Now we've got Yoast SEO. I think I might have quickly mentioned that earlier. Now Yoast is an SEO plugin. Let's check the list. I think I installed it already. Yoast, here we go, it's installed already. So Yoast is an SEO plugin. It's going to allow you to set how your page looks on Google. So for example, I've just got this page, it's called Top 20 Plugins, right? If I scroll down the bottom, here you're going to see how it looks on Google when it shows up in the search engine. So you might want to change this stuff. I'm going to just Top 20 WordPress plugins. And normally you'll try and use as much as possible. So, website course for DJs. And so you'll try and use as much space as you can, as many characters as you can, so that this is how it's going to show up, on the search engine. So I can also put the description here. These are the top 20 plugins you should install when you build your WordPress website, blah blah blah, right? Now if you don't actually put a meta description, it's just going to, Google is going to automatically just get a snapshot of the relevant text on the page. So personally, most of the time I don't put anything here unless I want to specify exactly what I want to say. If it's a listing, you can even put your phone number there. So you can put your phone number there as well, and then that's how it's going to show up on Google. So let's say if I go DJ Hire Perth, if I scroll down, and that's actually my DJ business, and that's how I've set my permalink with Yoast. So I start with the keyword that I want to target. I've got my business name, and I've got some extra things that hopefully will get people to click my link, see the DJ profiles, get a quote. We'll provide experience DJ hire in Perth, or DJ hire Perth. Once again, I'm putting the keyword here and here. Wedding DJs Perth, put the keyword there again. See the DJ profiles, get an instant quote in less than 3 minutes, and then I put the phone number there as well. So you're really trying to cram as much information in the listing as possible in this little section here. So that's what Yoast enables you to do. Yoast actually has some additional things to try and correct your SEO, but this is not the best way to score the quality of your SEO. We can cover a little bit more of that further down in the course, but the best way to learn about SEO is to just read blogs and learn about it yourself, rather than trying to use tools like this that try and do what only a human can do, to be honest. So anyway, that's Yoast. That's what that enables you to do right there. So the next thing we've got is Google Analyticator or Google Analytify. So I'm going to go and install Google Analyticator. Now what Google Analyticator does, and Google Analytify also, is they can install the Google tracking code for your Google Analytics. And they also give you some basic stats on the dashboard of your website. So as this current website is a new website and we don't have any statistics, I'm going to quickly log into my DJ Business website and show you how this looks. So this is the Analyticator plugin, and once it loads, it's going to show you the last 30 days of traffic into the website. So I can see the traffic going up and down. It's got some basic stats there. So that stuff's not going to actually show until we set up and connect this to our Google Analytics. Now, I haven't set up analytics for this website yet. What you'll need to do is just go to Google, type in Google Analytics. Once you go to Google Analytics, you're going to actually create a new website here. So Google Analytics will be linked with your Gmail. If you've got a Gmail, then all you need to do is type in Analytics, go there, and from here I want to click down here, go to Admin. You're going to create a new property. I'm not going to do that right now. Create a new property, add a website, and then once you follow the instructions here, you'll be able to link that website with this account, and then that's going to install the Google tracking code on your website so that you can actually get these analytics. So you do that. Now the other analytic plugin I've got is called Google Analytify. I'm going to install this quickly. Paste this in here. I think I didn't spell it right. Oh, here we go. This is the one. Google Analytify. So what I like about this plugin is once you've installed this, you don't actually need to install the tracking code if you've already done it with Analyticator. You can do it with either one, this one or that one, but they both have different analytic properties to tools that you can use in your website. So I'll show you what I mean in a second. So once you've set up analytics and then connected these plugins to your analytics, then you'll be able to get additional stats. So if we go back to my website, you'll see the menu option here, Analytify. I go to the dashboard. Now I've got a whole screen here, and it's going to give me stats about my analytics without me having to log into my analytics account. Because, to be honest, for newbies, analytics can be quite overwhelming. You don't know what you're looking at, where to click, what the information means. It's sort of hard to sort of work out, what you need to be looking at and what information is important. So Analytify is a good way of getting some simple stats. Okay, the last 7 days I've had 115 visitors, 577 page views, 0% bounce rate, pretty good. Nearly 3 minutes average time on the site, up 10% from the 7 days before. So essentially you can just get stats. So if I want to go look at the last 6 months, view stats, and really quickly you can get analytics about your website without going to Google Analytics. And I find that super useful. So last 6 months I've had 3,000 visitors, over 13,000 page views, 40% bounce rate, still not too bad. Average time 2.5 minutes, and even more statistics. So that's really what I like about this plugin. There's heaps of stats here that you can look at, and it's free. So definitely install them to analytical plugins. Now there's another plugin called Custom Permalinks. What Custom Permalinks allows you to do is, I'm going to go back to my DJ Business website for this one. When you're creating posts, posts are the blog posts, as I mentioned in an earlier module. Now, the problem is that normally, by default, when you add a blog post, top 3 questions to ask when you hire a DJ, it's going to put the category in the URL. So, if I look at this page, by default, if I'm not using the custom permalink plugin, it's going to create a URL up here that says something like, party planning tips, because that's the category that I've got the blog in. Now, this is really long, and it's something that won't show up too well in Google. In fact, if it's too long, it'll clip some of the letters. So if you install the plugin custom permalinks, then you're going to be able to remove the root directory. So if this was like this, normally you cannot delete that. But when you install custom permalinks, you will be able to delete that and then update the page. So I highly recommend that plugin. Let's go and add that now. This is the one we want. It's got this logo here. Install now. In fact, I'll show you an example. If we go to the posts here, let's say I create a post. I'm just going to call it blog post. I'll put it into a category. We'll see how it looks. Blog post. I'll put it under news and I will publish. Okay, it didn't do what I was expecting. Let me show you another example. What we're going to do is we're going to go to pages. I'm going to create what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this sample page as a sub page of DJ Hire Sunshine Coast. So I will edit, parent page, DJ Hire Sunshine Coast, update. Now, when I view this page, you'll see that it's created the URL DJ Hire Sunshine Coast and then sample page. Now, if I go edit to edit this page, pretty sure I cannot actually delete this or edit that part of the URL. Now let's go and activate this plugin. I'm going to refresh here. Suddenly, I can delete that. So what you do is you just delete it, and it allows you to have a much shorter URL, yet at the same time still take advantage of using sub pages, because sometimes you want to group your pages. You might have a page called services, and then under services you've got weddings, corporate functions, birthdays, kids parties, and they're all sub pages of services. But on the URL, you want to delete the word services in the permalink, and so that's essentially what the custom permalinks plugin will allow you to do. Okay, next plugin is redirection. I'm going to go and install this one also. Now, redirection is for setting up redirections. So basically, let's say you create a page. Let's say I create this page. What was it? Before it was, we had the DJ Hire Sunshine Coast. And then I used custom permalinks to change that URL. Now, if you already had that page existing for 2 or 3 months and it was ranking on Google, and let's say it was on the first page, but now you want to change it and make it shorter and remove that part, what you're going to need to do is set up a redirection. So this is the plugin you want to install. It's got these flowers here. 1 million active installations. Updated 21 hours ago, so it's a very updated plugin. I'm going to install this. activate, and now this is going to show up in tools, the redirections. So go to tools, redirection, and if I want to set up a redirect, okay, redirection. Not sure what this is asking, seems to be a new setup thing. I might keep a log of all the 404s. I do not want it to automatically create the redirects because then things start getting messy. I would prefer to do it manually, so I'm not going to turn that on. And we're going to finish the setup. Okay, finished. Now, this is how you create a redirect. You go from the source URL, and then if the new one is the exact same thing minus that sub directory, you click that. That adds a redirect. Now, if I refresh the page, it's going to redirect to the new URL that I have set here, and it's going to, add it up here as one of your redirects. So that's super important. So that means you can basically divert people to a new page on your website, but it also helps to keep the ranking power. If that page is already ranking and you don't want to lose that Google ranking position, but you want to change the URL, you must use a redirection. So, next plugin is called File Manager. This is a very cool plugin because what this allows you to do, I'm going to go to Plugins, Add New. What File Manager is going to allow you to do is basically access the files of your website directly. Kind of like using on your computer, just looking directly in the files directory. In fact, both of these plugins are good, the blue one and these two. They're both called File Manager, different makers. I've used them both, they're both fine. So I'll activate this one. Now on the left, we're going to see File Manager. So from here, this now enables me to directly copy files to the root directory of the website. Very useful, just don't go deleting any of this stuff. But if you're downloading plugins from WordPress.org, you'll go to WP Content, Plugins, and you can literally upload plugins here and unzip them, and same with themes. So you can upload plugins and themes direct to the directory, but also if you're doing anything very technical, you can, download and edit these files, but I won't recommend doing that until you know what you're doing. So File Manager is another really good plugin. Next on the list we have the EMP Song Selector, Time Scheduler, Music Planner, Wedding Planner. Now this is actually a group of plugins made by Eventmaster Pro, who is the sponsor of this free WordPress course, and basically for $97 US you can get all four of these plugins, and they create a music plan for a mobile DJ business. So I'm going to show you an example over here on my current website. If I go to Music Plan Tools, and then I've set up a separate page for each one of these plugins. So we've got Song Selector, Time Scheduler, Music Planner, Wedding Planner. Song Selector, you will upload a CSV file with all of your songs. People can then select a list of songs. They can look at that selection of songs. They can save a playlist. And then they can print that playlist. So here you're going to see now it's added those songs. It says there's 6 songs, 17 minutes. Let's put my business logo up here. And this is really cool if you want customers to be able to make a playlist from your music library. And I've also got some instructions within the plugin of how you can get all the tags from your MP3s on your computer and then import that to this plugin. So the other 3 plugins we've got a time scheduler tool. So if we check this out, Basically, it's a very simple and easy to use click and drag tool for making a time schedule. And then after your customer makes a time schedule, usually this is useful for weddings. So these are all the events that take place, for a party. So you might say, okay, DJ arrives at that time, no music. Then we say, okay, 7 p.m. that's when the music starts. So you've actually got all these options you can click here. If I double click it, background music, save. Okay, then we're going to say 7:30, cutting of the cake, and then you can put a song, save that. Let's say 7:45 is going to be the first dance, and the way you look tonight, Buble. And let's just quickly say 12 a.m. music finish. Save that, print schedule, and it doesn't look so great on this screen, but if I click print, it's going to create a nice print view, and then the customer can print that out and give that to you as the DJ or the MC, and it creates a time schedule there. So that's the time scheduler. Other two plugins I'll very quickly show you. We've got the music planner and the wedding planner. Essentially, these are just questionnaires. Now, the music planner, we're going to ask them questions about what their favorite styles of music are, what music they do like, what they don't like. So we've got a 5-step form here. They say, okay, the event's very formal, it's a dinner party, here's the date, there's going to be this many people there, it's going to be friends, there's going to be parents, there's going to be kids. And the customer can literally just step by step go through this form, and at the end they can print that out and give it to you, and it's going to tell you exactly what to play for the night. So if we look here, now we're going to see background music, so they can say, okay, while people are eating, while people are having their finger foods, what kind of music do you want the DJ to play? So this saves you a bit of time in communication with the customer. What genres of music would you like? They can actually choose genres, and it's going to open up a SoundCloud player so they can listen to the styles of music. Let's have a quick listen. So I'm not sure if the sound's working there, but basically with this screen recording software, but basically the customer will listen to the styles of music they want. They will select what they want. They can even actually open the song selector within this tool here. So open song selector, bam, and then they can make a set playlist. They can save it, and they can link it to the background music. So I'll go to the last step of the song selector and quickly show you how that sort of prints out and makes a plan for you. So I'm going to go to the final step, that's after step 5. And so from here they click print music plan, and it shows all the questions that's on the music plan, the answers that the customers gave, and you'll be able to print this out, make a PDF, or just print it out and bring it with you on the day. And there's your music plan. Now these are plugins that you can just install and put them onto special pages onto your website, so that you've got complete music planner tools. And I won't go through the wedding planner in detail, but essentially it's going to ask, who's being introduced to the room, what order will they be introduced, what are the pronunciations of the names, what's your entrance song, what's your cake song, what's your bridal song, all that sort of stuff. That's what the wedding couple will answer on this wedding planner form, and then it's going to print out a wedding plan just like the music plan. So that's very useful. So they are the 4 EMP plugins. Okay, I'm going to break this module up into 2 parts because it's quite a lot of information to soak in. So I'm going to finish this up, and in the next module I'm going to go over the next 10 plugins. So I will see you there.